YouTube! Welcome to another book of the month. This month I have been reading The Actor's Life, A Survival Guide by Jenna Fischer. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tori Cyclic. I make new videos every Sunday for Cyclic Sunday, as well as other videos throughout the week. If you like this, you can go like this video down below, as well as subscribe down there too. You can follow me in the description at tss6295 on Twitter and Instagram, and see all of the fun adventures that I am having in the rest of my life. Alright, let's get into this video. Like I said in my last video, I'm getting really into the meat of audition season right now, which is stressful and exhausting, and I wanted to be reading a book that would help me feel rejuvenated and more happy about this season. And I knew that she'd written this book, and I was like, no, I need to get this book and read it during this time of the year because I feel like it's going to help me get out of my head about everything I'm worried about in the audition season, and it's been so great in doing that. I think this is a book that every actor or actress should own because there's so much information in here about headshots, auditions, agents, all the different things that you need to know, especially in the world of TV acting. Jenna Fischer has written it in this book. I'm personally not going into that right now, but it's something I want to do in the future. It's really nice to be reading about all these different things that I honestly have no clue about in the world of SAG-AFTRA, going in for commercial auditions. It's really cool to read all of this information that Jenna Fischer has about all these things she did when she was starting out in her career. I actually met Jenna Fischer when I was 17 when I went to go see her in a production of Reasons to Be Happy by Neil LaBute when it was here in New York City. She's one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met. Also, The Office is one of my favorite TV shows. I've watched it like 10 times through, and I can remember exactly what the first episode was that I've watched. The first scene I remember seeing, which was when Pam told Jim that her water had broke, and then the first time they're having the baby. So like, I needed to read this book. The thing I really like about this book that I also really liked about Anna Kendrick's book, which I read last month, is that Jenna Fischer is very honest in this book. She's not trying to sugarcoat anything. She's being very real and honest with the reader about how tough the world of TV, film, theater, acting is, and I really appreciate that. I'm also liking that I picked two books that talk about different worlds of acting, with Anna Kendrick's book being about like theater and Jenna Fischer's book being about TV and film, so I'm learning a lot about these different worlds and the different struggles that go along with it. One of the things that Jenna Fischer talks about in the beginning of the book is how you have to put in a lot of work to become a working actor, but the one main thing that comes into the world of acting that you have absolutely no control over is luck. And that is something that I am trying to grapple with throughout the world of auditions, because you never know what's going to happen in an audition. It's always about that little tiny bit of luck that is completely out of your control in an audition situation. Jenna Fischer also talks about asking yourself the question, why do you want to be an actor? If you're in it for the money, she says it's not the best reason to go into the profession because there's a lot of work that goes into being an actor. And when I read that section of the book, I was like, yeah, that's a very good question to ask myself. Why do I want to be in this profession? Why do I want to put myself through all the struggles of auditioning when it can be so tough? But then reading the rest of the book, I was like, yeah, you know, it's all about the passion for it. It's all about the things that you want to do and you have a love for and that you want to make it into your career. Jenna Fischer provides so much information about how to get proper headshots, how to talk to agents, how to get an agent, how to figure out if an audition situation is safe or not, about all of these different things when you're first breaking into the industry that I think is so useful. She even shows examples of her old headshots and her old resumes to show what's a good headshot, what's a bad headshot, what doesn't sell you correctly, and I think that's so cool to see someone showing their progress throughout understanding the industry and how it all works and how they understood selling themselves. Jenna Fischer also talks about her audition process for The Office, which I loved reading because I love The Office so much, so it's really cool to read about all of her thoughts and perspective about when the show was struggling to get picked up and then when they got picked up to go to series, and I'm like, oh, this makes me so happy because I love this show and I get to read about the process of how it got started. And I'm like, oh, it makes me so happy. She also talks about life on set, on different movie sets and TV sets, and how it's all totally different and different ways to get through all of that, which I really loved reading about. She also has at the end of the book some interviews with other working actors and directors, so you get to hear other people's perspectives about the industry and different work that they've done too. Something that I do a lot in auditions is trying to figure out what I did wrong to not get a callback or not get an offer for a job, and I really love that Jenna Fischer talks about that specifically. On page 18, she says, I really wanted a callback for this Disney cruise thing. 1 month traveling on a cruise ship, does it get any better than that? Callbacks are tomorrow, so I'm assuming I didn't get it. So of course I'm reviewing everything I did to figure out why my eyes sucked. And this just made me laugh so much because that's exactly what I do when I leave an audition and I didn't get called back. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Is there something wrong with my headshot? Is there something wrong with how I look? Am I just not right for this part? So reading that she thought this way too in her first few weeks living in LA doing auditions, I was like, oh man. Thank God it's not just me. I really love that Jenna Fischer talked about the importance of having a day job that you don't hate but will help you pay the bills, and it made me think about my job, which I love because I like the people I work with and I think the food there is delicious and it's a very interesting environment, but even though the hours can suck, that makes me feel better about it. I think that this is such an important book for actors to own because it is such a wealth of information that it feels like you're reading something from a friend, and Jenna Fischer makes it so much fun to read all that information instead of feeling like a textbook that you're reading at school. I also think that non-actors will really like this book as well because there is so much information about the world of TV and film and theater, and it's really hard to understand when you're not in the industry. And I've talked to my boyfriend and my parents and my sisters about it, and there's a lot of things that they don't understand about the world of auditioning that I'm like, I just like, read this book, it'll make sense. So that is all I have for you guys today. In the comments below, leave me some book recommendations. I have 5 or 6 books that I'm already planning to read this year, but I'd love to get some other books as well. A lot of my books that I've chosen to read are biographies by actors. So as you can tell, that's something that I'm very interested in currently book-wise, but I've also got Turtles All the Way Down and Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on the list. So those will be forthcoming. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can watch my other videos over here and subscribe up here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram in the description, and you can like this video down below and subscribe down there as well. DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!